Hello and welcome to my latest video. My name is Jenny. I'm a tropical Western astrologer, and today we're going to talk about the full moon at 16 degrees of Aquarius happening on August the 9th. How's everybody doing with all of the energy of August? Joanna and I on our podcast, Demystifying Divinity, just recorded an amazing August energy update that I really encourage all of you to go and look at. Give it a listen. You can find it on Joanna's YouTube channel as well. She's Joanna the Healer. She's a YouTube sensation, and she has agreed to post our energy updates on her channel. So go over and give it a look. And maybe I will put it on my YouTube as well and give it a listen because these energies are no joke. And I just want to remind you of just like it's one after the next, and you all might be feeling this. And I'm here to say, no, you are not going crazy, and no, you are not losing your mind, or maybe you are, and maybe that's a good thing. Okay, just bear with me. I'll tell you everything that's been going on up into leading to this full moon in Aquarius. And I want us to all feel into what an Aquarius moon person is like and how we can use this energy for building our future life, which bear with me. I want to talk to you about the astrology of that. The energies are now demanding us to line up with this timeline if we so choose, if we want to live the life of our dreams. And it's all here. This is the portal, if you will. This is our opportunity. The cosmos are now urging us strongly to jump onto this timeline. So let's just give it a look. End of July, South Node and Mars were together in Virgo. And this was that thing that was really bugging you. Mars was irritating the crap out of us, especially in the Virgo house placement of our natal birth charts, if you're familiar with that. And if you ever have any questions about this, by the way, you can always send me a note here on YouTube. You can find me on Instagram, where I definitely, a lot of people slip into my DMs over there and ask me the questions. As well, I have a membership, a monthly membership. So we meet at the full moon and the new moon of every month, and we can answer all of these questions during the membership. And I read your astrology birth charts inside the membership every month. But yeah, so the South Node and Mars got together in Virgo, end of July, irritating the crap out of us to do the damn thing, to finally say no or to finally say yes. It's either a hell yes or a hell no. And Mars made us finally make up our minds about the damn thing and do the damn thing. And it was just so irritating. It's that thing that is bothering you that won't go away. Okay, that was South Node and Mars. They got together end of July. Okay, then we had the new moon right at that time. We had the new moon at 2 degrees Leo on July the 24th. Go back, watch that video for that energy as well. Then we're getting into the 8-8 portal. Now, this is a very controversial subject. Actually, a lot of astrologers don't even believe, don't agree, don't think that it is a thing. The 8-8 portal started on July the 26th, and then it peaks on 8-8, August 8th. Okay, and then a couple days later, there's a 6 planetary pile up, okay, in the skies that we can all see with the visible eye. There's a couple that you need to see with a telescope, and in that mix is this full moon. So it's just like thing, and then thing, and then thing, and then thing, and you can just see it. Maybe there's like a 2-day break, maybe there's a 3-day break, but it's like the cosmos just keep poking the bear, poking us to say yes, hell yes, say hell no, to wake up, to remember who the hell we are. That's what this portal is. It's a strong urging from the cosmos to remember that our heart center is actually the greatest decision center of the whole portal that we have here, this portal of our physical vessel that keeps us on planet Earth. This heart center, we can tap into the heart center when making a decision. And then and only then will we know if it's a hell yes or a hell no, because we can overthink using our beautiful minds. We're not saying lose our minds. We're not saying lose our minds. We're saying, can we please drop into the heart and use maybe our mind and our heart in making hell yes and hell no decisions? So, how do we get into the heart? This is Leo season to reign because Leo, it rules the heart chakra. Leo is all heart unless they aren't. A Leo person with strong, strong Leo in their natal birth chart is all heart when they're in their highest vibe. But in their shadow vibe, a Leo person, people with strong Leo in their natal birth charts are all ego. So afraid of everything or has to be center of attention and not taking anyone else into consideration. That's living in the ego and just being judgmental and controlling of everything because you have to control. The ego wants you to control it, and the ego wants you to know what the next step is and to judge it, right? Are you living in that kind of Leo energy, or are you living in the high vibe Leo energy of coming from the heart? And that's what this portal now is encouraging all of us to do, is to drop into the heart and make that hell yes or that hell no decision based on what the heart says, not what the mind says. So this is new. They don't teach us this in school, do they? They don't, mom and dad and our religions and our peers don't teach us to do this. So this is a new way. This is a new paradigm. This is a new era. And that's exactly what the astrology of 2025 suggests throughout the entire year. With 4 of the 5 outer planets moving into new signs in 2025, this suggests new era energy. This is a new world. This is new Earth. We need to embrace the change. And so I really feel that all of the cosmic energies and the transits happening end of July and into August is this special portal that is teaching us how to make heart-led decisions, how to have the courage to make a decision from the heart. Because for many people, you've been doing the thing your whole life, let alone the last few months, let alone the last few years or decades. Perhaps it's been your whole life that you've done it this particular way, or you've been in this particular relationship that is crushing your soul, or you've been in this particular job that is, in fact, soul crushing. Perhaps you've been doing it for a long, 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 long time, and you just become so programmed and you just become so addicted to the stress hormones of it all that you just don't know any other way of living. So coming from the heart and making a decision from the heart is completely foreign. And so that's for a lot of people that it is very, very difficult to change your decision making and come from the heart. And I really feel that the astrology of end of July and into August is encouraging all of us to have that courage to make decisions from the heart. So let's talk about this full moon at 16 degrees of Aquarius. First of all, one of the most brilliant astrologers, Nikola Stoyanovich, he did the degrees theory, and he started to notice, he read thousands of birth charts, and he started to notice that the degrees, specific degrees, mean the same thing every time. And so 16 degrees of Aquarius is the future, according to Nikola Stoyanovich. So the future, what's ahead? So I would highly recommend that you take the time at this full moon to drop into meditation and connect with your future self, because this full moon is showing you how good can it get. And I would encourage you, while in that meditative state, your intention in going into the meditation is, how good can this get for all involved? Okay, so I was sharing on the podcast that when I had to make a heart-led decision, a big, big, big life-changing decision, and I regularly dropped into the heart to make this decision, and I took my time with it to feel how it felt in the body and to feel what my heart was guiding me to do. My prayer always was, what is the greatest good for all? So, but at the time of this full moon, I really think that we can put the intention before going into that meditative state. How good can this get for the greatest good for all? So, those two components I really feel will help with our intention setting, with our future self collaborations, with our co-creations with the universe at the time of this full moon. First of all, I just want to read what an Aquarius moon feels like. I'm just going to grab my journal here. It's available on Amazon, and I go through all the natal moons. What does a moon in Capricorn person? What do you experience? So I just want to read one Aquarius moon because this is a very misunderstood moon. I must say, a lot of astrologers think it's one of the worst moons. And I beg to differ. I beg to. So if you have an Aquarius moon, maybe, maybe. But here's what I wrote about the Aquarius moon or having a moon in the 11th house. Okay. You are a light worker to help raise the vibration on the planet and introduce innovative ideas to humanity. It's important for you to embrace your human body and the earth experience, or you might become detached from people, cold and aloof. It's advised to stay stimulated and feel a deep emotional connection to something that is very unique. Processing emotions can be tricky for you, and it's important to disconnect for a while and then come back down to earth in order to deal. So that's what an Aquarius moon feels like. Here's my moon journal. You can get it on Amazon. I teach you how to manifest with the moon phases. And this particular moon is no exception. Okay, so Aquarius moon, let's all fly our freak flags. Okay, what makes you unique? How can you connect with your future self? And how good can this get for all people in your life involved? That is so Aquarius because Aquarius is the future. Aquarius is your community. Aquarius is your friendships and your groups, your online presence, and perhaps your online groups. Aquarius is the great inventor. Aquarius is the great genius. Okay, this is genius energy on steroids if we're willing to do this work that I'm talking about, dropping into the heart, connecting in meditation to our future self, asking what is the greatest good for all, how good this can get for all involved. This is, and it might sound very woo-woo, what I'm saying to you. If an outsider never heard anyone talk about astrology or meditation, might tune into something like this and just go, she is absolutely crazy. And first of all, heck yes, I am. And second of all, that's the energy of this moon is like, if you're feeling a little bit crazy-ish, follow that. Follow that because Aquarius truly is the alien of the birth chart. So people with strong Aquarius might feel like an alien, might feel like a total outsider, might feel like nobody understands them. And that can be a very difficult feeling for the strong Aquarius people out there. But please do know that we need that unique energy in this age of Aquarius that we have found ourselves in. We are all here for a reason. We've all been planted here on Earth at this time. If you're listening to this video, and watching this, then you are here for this. And you are here to bring your light to the world. And this Aquarius full moon is encouraging all of us to shine our light quickly, very brightly for the whole world. I will also say any full moon, it means the sun and the moon are opposite each other. Okay, any full moon, doesn't matter what sign it's in. And any full moon, again, no matter what sign it's in, it is showing you what has or has not shown up, manifested, harvested at the time of this full moon. It's the time to close the door and shut it and release it and let go, perhaps. Perhaps it has shown up. So 6 months prior, at the new moon in Aquarius, you were advised to get your moon journal at the time of the Aquarius new moon and write out your intentions. You always set intentions at the time of a new moon, so that in 6 months' time, when the moon is full in that same sign, you can collect your harvest. So you would plant the seeds, if you can imagine the metaphor of planting the seeds of your intention in the dark ground at the time of the dark new moon, so that when the moon is in its full cycle, it is up in the sky, illuminating so brightly all the things in the dark we can't normally see, so that you can collect your harvest. And then it's over. So often we feel like, quote, lunatics at a full moon because we knew we should have done the darn thing and started the thing and 6 months prior when the moon was new. And so often you do feel like that lunatic 6 months later when the moon is full because you didn't do the darn thing. Because you didn't say the darn thing. You didn't say hell no to the darn person, right? To that rascal. And now it's become this thing. And now you've got to close that door. So if that's you and you're feeling like that lunatic, it's okay. Like let's just wash our hands of it and let's close the door. Let's start a new cycle. That's at any full moon. You might feel that resonance there. So let's talk about this particular full moon, August 9th, 16 degrees, which Nicola taught us means the future. 16 degrees of Aquarius is the future. So, what's being illuminated at the time of this full moon? Look at your astrology birth chart. I'm going to be going through all the 12 houses for you to really dig deep into that meditative state, connect with your future self, and connect what is my future? Because I've got news for you all. If we want to talk about a date, this is another thing that Joanne and I have talked about on Demystifying Divinity is the date of February 20th, 2026 truly is a marker for so many of us. It is when Saturn and Neptune come together at the 0 degree mark, that creator degree of 0 degree Aries. They come together exactly at 0 degrees of Aries on February the 20th, 2026. That does indicate new earth, new paradigm, new era. And so we've got some time. What is that, 6 months? We've got some time before February 20th, 2026 to really connect with our future self because we do have the opportunity with this portal here, end of July into August, to connect with our future self, our ideal future self, our ideal future life, our dream life, which is what Saturn and Neptune coming together at 0 Aries could be for so many of us if we're willing to do this work with the cosmos that are urging us to do so. Okay, so the moon and sun are opposite. Of course, they always are at a full moon. So 16 degrees of Aquarius, 16 degrees Leo is where the sun is. Okay, so otherwise, in regards to this particular full moon, the moon is 14 degrees away from Pluto, also in Aquarius. So the moon and Pluto are not exactly conjunct, but they are in the same sign. So Pluto is always there to transform our lives. So it is transformational. This full moon truly can transform us into the timeline, onto the timeline, into that future self. Greatest good for all. How good can it get? You keep asking yourself. Otherwise, there are no aspects to this particular full moon. And don't we love that? But what is happening at the sky? It's not connected to the moon. But what is happening is this beautiful kite formation. Now, a kite formation, if you want to Google it, is very rare in an astrology birth chart, and it indicates extreme talent. If you do have a kite formation in your natal birth chart, you are extremely talented at something. You would have to hire an astrologer to dig into what the talents are. But this particular kite formation has Mars opposite Saturn and Neptune over in Aries, but it's trined to Uranus and Pluto. So it's all the key players, all of these outer planets that are moving into these new signs, showing us how the new era is going to look and how it's going to feel and what new Earth and the new world is going to feel and look like. So there's this kite formation happening at the exact same time as this full moon in Aquarius, encouraging all of us to tap into our future self, encouraging all of us to ask, how good can this get for the greatest good for all? It's so beautiful. And there's so many retrogrades at the time of this full moon. We've got Mercury, Saturn, Neptune, Pluto, and Chiron all retrograde. And when a whole bunch of planets are retrograde, it's like the cosmos saying to us, you know what, give it a little relook, give it a little rethink, and maybe, just maybe, you can switch the mindset on that. So be open to that when you're dropping into your meditation at the time of this full moon. Not only are you asking, how good can this get for the greatest good for all? But is there another way? Like, I'm curious, is there another way that I could maybe rethink it all? To be open, to have that curious mindset going in. And of course, this full moon is encouraging all of us to let go of the drama, because if there were ever a zodiac sign that knows about drama, it's the Leos. Okay, the Leos are the actors and the center of attention of the universe, particularly of the zodiac. So yes, this is a letting go. Whenever it's a full moon, you are being asked to close a door, to release what needs to go, to stop the darn thing. And this particular full moon is encouraging all of us to just walk away from the drama. Okay? And the bottom line of it all, I've been going through all of this astrology and this portal and this activation, and I've been saying all the things, and I've been giving you tips to go into your meditation. I've been saying all the things, but the bottom line of this full moon, that is the day after the 8/8 portal, right there, amidst all of the cosmic lineup of things happening. This full moon is encouraging all of us to become our authentic self. What is true to you? What is your authenticity? And even if it seems really crazy, and even if they say you're a freak, and even if they accuse you of being completely off your rocker and you've lost your marbles, and even if it feels like this is the craziest thing I have ever done, and I've never done anything like this, and it just seems too crazy, you're onto something. Because this full moon is encouraging all of us to finally remember our authentic selves, to finally remember who the hell we all are, and to be true to ourselves. And even if that means it's going to upset people, even if that means people are going to call us crazy, to be true to ourselves, even if it rocks the boat in a big, big way, because Aquarius, this is an Aquarius full moon, and the Aquarius sign is well known to be the rebel. Well known to be the rebel of the zodiac. So maybe you do need to do something a little bit rebellious so that you can step into your authenticity. But first, we're going to go through an all signs forecast for this full moon at 16 degrees of Aquarius. So if Aquarius is in your first house, you are an Aquarius rising. We love you, Aquarius rising. It's a very rare rising sign. I don't see Aquarius rising often, but when I do, I say thank you so much for being here. We need your light in this world. And so please, Aquarius, if this full moon is in your first house, I strongly urge you to take the advice of getting into that meditative state around this full moon, dropping into meditation, and before you do, setting the intention, how good can this get for the greatest good for all? I am asking my future self to show up for me and show me that ideal dream world. Because by February 20th of 2026, when we've got Saturn and Neptune coming together, that truly is the new era. That truly is the new paradigm. And if you're willing to work with this groundbreaking cosmos that we've got right now, including this full moon at 16 degrees of Aquarius, you truly could hop onto that timeline, Aquarius rising. You truly could get there quite easily, because your whole life you felt like, you know what, I don't really belong, like they want me to say this thing, they want me to do this thing, and it doesn't feel right. Well, now it's your time, Aquarius rising. Now it's your time to be true to your authentic self and ask yourself, how good can this get for all involved? And to boldly make a decision from your heart, have the courage to make a hell yes or a hell no decision from your heart. Get on that timeline, Aquarius rising. If Aquarius rules your second house, this is a call for you to come from your heart, make a decision from your heart, a hell yes or a hell no decision from your heart at the time of this full moon regarding your self-worth and what you are worth. So money. And money is an exchange. It's an energy exchange, right? Once you know your worth, you'll notice that the money flows into the bank account because when you know your worth and you step into your abundance mindset and you step into all the abundance awaiting you, it flows and you get into that flow. So at the time of this full moon that's hitting your second house, I highly encourage you to drop into your heart, get into that meditative state. Ask yourself, how good can this get for greatest good for all? And tap into your future self. What does your future self say about your self-worth? What does your future self say about the money that you deserve? Okay, third house. If Aquarius rules your third house, I'm encouraging you to drop into your heart, have the courage to make a decision from your heart that is a hell yes or a hell no. At the time of this full moon, I'm encouraging you to drop into the meditative state. But before you do, you set the intention. How good can this get for the greatest good for all? And then intend to connect with your future self. This is your future self giving you advice regarding third house things, regarding your neighborhood and your neighbors and your friends that feel like siblings and your siblings and your cousins, so your family and where you live, right? And the community and the people that you spend your time with, and then the trips that you take, short distance trips, and your vehicles and your cars and your scooters and your bikes. So it's a lot of things, but it's also the way you talk and you communicate and you write a writing project or something to do with the internet as well. So the third house is a lot of things. And so now that you know that, you're going to drop into your heart and you're going to say, I want to know how to use my heart to make a decision. And you drop into that meditative state with the intention of connecting with your future self and discovering what is the greatest good for all and how good this can get. Okay, if Aquarius rules your fourth house, this is all about you making a hell yes or a hell no decision from your heart. How do you do that? Well, at the time of this full moon, I encourage you to drop into meditation. Okay, quiet the mind. And before you do the meditation, you're setting the intention to find out what is the greatest good for all? How good can this get for the greatest good for all? I want to connect with my future self. My future self is going to let me know what the greatest good for all and how good it can get regarding fourth house things. House, home, property, real estate, and also your family. Okay, so any family decision, whether it's having a baby, whether it's moving away from your family, something to do with your family lineage and your family relationships and your deepest emotions and feelings. It's all those things. That's what you're going to ask your future self when you drop into the meditative state. And that's how you're going to know how to make a hell yes or a hell no decision from your heart. Does Aquarius rule your fifth house? Okay, at the time of this full moon, I'm encouraging everyone to find out what is the hell yes and what is the hell no decision regarding what your heart says. How do you find out what that is and what the area of life is I encourage you to drop into a meditative state. And before going into meditation, I encourage you to set the intention of asking your future self. You want to connect with your future self and you want to ask your future self, what is the greatest good for all? How good can this get? And what is the greatest good for all? And you want to ask your future self to connect and tell you about fifth house things. This is children. This is joy. This is creative projects. This is fun. It's the funnest house of them all. So you want to ask your future self about a hell yes or a hell no decision from your heart regarding all the fifth house things. So, it could be anything to do with having a child, or if you already have children, then perhaps, improving a relationship with your children, or a big decision regarding your children, or all things creative and artistic and a new project, something new creative to make and create. And don't forget, the fifth house is having fun. So if you forgot how to have fun, ask your future self about fun as well. Okay, does Aquarius fall in your sixth house? What I'm encouraging everyone to do is to drop into your heart, make decisions. Hell yes, hell no decisions. How do we do that? I'm encouraging all of you at the time of this full moon to get into the meditative state. And before you drop into meditation, you're setting the intention. You're going to ask the question, how good can this get? And what is the greatest good for all? So you're intending to connect with your future self, that big question, how good can it get and what's the greatest good for all? And for you, you're asking your future self for guidance on sixth house matters. That's your health. Sure, your physical vessel. Sure, that's one part of your health, but another part of your health is your spiritual health and your mental health. What does your future self have to say about taking care of your health? Maybe your future self will give you advice on daily habits to either drop or to add to your daily habits, to your daily routine, because the sixth house is all about what you do on the daily. And it's those daily habits that become atomic habits that can completely change your life. The sixth house is not only just health, it is about pets. So perhaps your future self has something to say about pets. And the bottom line about sixth house, and I read a lot of charts with a lot of sixth house energy, including myself. I have a stellium there. If you have energy in the sixth house, you are a healer. So you might want to ask your future self, how good can this get? And what is the greatest good for all regarding my healing abilities? Seventh house, what I'm encouraging you to do is to drop into your heart, to make a decision, a hell yes or a hell no decision. And in order to do so, I'm encouraging everyone to drop into meditation at the time of this full moon. And before going into meditation, what you're doing is you're setting an intention and you're asking, how good can this get? And what is the greatest good for all? And you're going to intend to connect with your future self. So your future self is going to reveal to you how good it can get and what is the greatest good for all and what is the hell yes and what is the hell no regarding seventh house things. So for you, it's your relationships. Okay. If Aquarius rules your seventh, this is all about knowing what is a hell yes, what is a hell no regarding a marriage. Do you want to say hell yes or hell no to a marriage proposal? Or if you're already married, perhaps your future self has some guidance for you how to strengthen or change something within your marriage. Your closest relationships are also like your bestest friends and the people that you hang out with like all the time, and they are your closest people. And it's also your business partners. So it's your people, it's your closest people. And so, what I'm encouraging you to do is to drop into that meditation to get that sage advice from your future self. Is Aquarius in your eighth house? What I'm encouraging everyone to do at the time of this full moon is to drop into our heart and to start making decisions from the heart space. What is a hell yes? What is a hell no? Your heart knows. And so, how can we figure this out? Well, if you've got Aquarius in the eighth house, I'm encouraging you to do a meditation at the time of this full moon and set the intention before going into the meditation. How good can this get? And what is the greatest good for all? You're asking your future self. You're intending to connect with your future self when you get into this meditation. And it's regarding all that eighth house stuff. Eighth house is transformation. It's the butterfly house, I always say. So you couldn't even go back to be the caterpillar if you wanted to, because you're now the butterfly. It is the phoenix rising from the ashes. There's nowhere else to go for the phoenix. You have reached rock bottom. And so the phoenix must rise. So it's the transformation house. It's also the chunky money house. So investments, it's all things like tax returns and how you invest your money with your spouse, or what you invest in. Maybe you want to look into crypto or something. So you're connecting with your future self for advice on chunky money and investments and how to transform your life. The eighth house is also things like astrology and tarot and all the things that are occult and witchy, absolutely. And it's also your sex life. So if you don't have a sex life and you want a sex life, or if your sex life is not satisfactory to you, how to transform your sex life. So it's all those things that you're connecting with your future self at the time of this full moon. Okay, is Aquarius in your ninth house? What I'm encouraging everyone to do at the time of this full moon is to learn how to make decisions from the heart. What is a hell yes? What is a hell no? Our heart always knows. So, how can we get into this energy? Well, at the time of this full moon, I'm encouraging everyone to drop into meditation and to set an intention going into the meditation. How good can this get? For the greatest good for all. You set that intention, and you're setting the intention to connect with your future self to get guidance on that, how good it can get for the greatest good for all. You're asking your future self, and you want to know about ninth house things. So the ninth house is all things spirituality and religion. What are your beliefs? It's also overseas travel and overseas areas. So if you're thinking of moving, or if you're thinking of going on a trip, it has to do with foreigners, people that are not from your country. And it has to do with the education system. So going back to school, getting your master's. It's also about being the great teacher and teaching the things. Okay. So all those things you're dropping into meditation, and you're asking your future self for guidance on all those ninth house things. Okay, does Aquarius rule your 10th house? At the time of this full moon, I'm encouraging everyone to drop into their heart to start learning how to make decisions from the heart. And if it's not a hell yes, then it's a hell no. So how do we understand? How do we get into learning how to make decisions from our heart? We're not taught this, so we don't know how to do it. So I'm encouraging everyone to use this potent full moon energy and to go into meditation. And before going into meditation, you're setting the intention of asking, how good can this get for the greatest good for all? You want to connect with your future self, and you want to ask your future self how good it can get for the greatest good for all regarding 10th house things for you. And that is your career. Okay, maybe you need to make a big decision regarding your career, or you need a career change, or you're going to get a brilliant download about how to increase your career. It's also your social standing. So it's like how people see you. You can't hide what's happening up in the 10th house. So it's the way that people see you. It also has to do with the father. So maybe stuff with your dad, connecting again with your dad if you haven't spoken with him for a long time, or if your dad is dearly departed, how you can connect with him in the spirit realm. So it's all things career and father. So your intention is to connect with your future self regarding those things. Okay, is Aquarius in the 11th house? Well, this is where Aquarius belongs. So this is energy that you can truly connect with. And what I'm encouraging everyone to do at the time of this full moon is to drop into the heart and make a decision from the heart. Okay. And so we don't know how to do this. We are not trained to make decisions from the heart. And what I'm suggesting is that when it's a heart-based decision, then you'll know immediately it's either hell yes or hell no. Okay, and so how do we get into that energy? I'm encouraging everyone at the time of this full moon to drop into meditation. And before dropping into meditation, setting the intention, how good can this get for the greatest good for all? You want to ask your future self. You want to connect with your future self to give you the answer how good it can get and the greatest good for all regarding 11th house things for you. This is about your friendships. This is about your groups and your online projects, your online groups, your online presence. And it's also inventions, and it's brilliance, and it is the future. The 11th house is the future, and it is the greatest good for all, and it is humanity. So you're asking your future self for some guidance on that, all those things, and to open your heart. and to have a hell yes or a hell no when it comes to all those things. And it might be something about your friendships because 11th house definitely is your friendships, but it might be a brilliant download that you weren't expecting. So keep your curious heart open. Last but not least, Aquarius in the 12th. Aquarius in the 12th. Well, I'm encouraging everyone at the time of this full moon to drop into the heart and make a hell yes or a hell no decision. Once we learn how to make decisions from the heart, it does become a hell yes or a hell no. There is no monkey mind overthinking when we use our hearts to make decisions. And so, how do we retrain our minds and our hearts to do this? I'm encouraging all of us at the time of this full moon to drop into meditation. And before we go into meditation, set the intention. How good can this get for the greatest good for all? You want to ask your future self. You want to connect with your future self at the time of this meditation at the full moon. And you want to know what is the greatest good for all and how good it can get regarding 12th house things. 12th house is about letting go, letting goddess. It's about forgiveness and compassion. It's about forgiving even that rascal that did that thing and no longer holding on to the story, the victim story. It's letting go of that. It's letting go of it all and forgiving it all and seeing the bigger picture of it all and seeing God in everything and in everyone. 12th house is also addictions. Okay, so your future self might have some advice to you regarding addictions in your life. It's also the underground facilities like hospitals and rehab centers and orphanages. So perhaps some advice about those kind of centers. But truly, the 12th house is the final house. It is the letting go, it is the undoing, and your future self might have some great guidance for you regarding all of those 12th house things. Okay, so that was a quick look through the houses, and now I'm picking out the tarot. We're going to drop into the energy of the tarot at the time of this 16-degree full moon in Aquarius, 16 degrees, according to Nikola Stoyanovich, one of the greatest astrologers. He did the degrees theory, and he started to realize after doing thousands and thousands of astrology charts that the degrees often mean the same thing. So sometimes you can get a really accurate read just on the degrees alone when you're reading someone's chart. And so 16 degrees, according to Nicola, is the future. So this is a full moon on the future degree. And so Aquarius, full moon, encouraging all of us to connect with our future self for guidance of what we need to release. A full moon is always about releasing and letting go. And it's always about shutting the door because the cycle is over, the thing is done, the relationship is over, the job, you need to quit the job, you need to quit the relationship. It's over, right? This is the end of the road, and it might be really sad. So you've been holding on for way too long, but this is the end of the road. And so what this full moon is suggesting for all of us is to connect with our future self and to ask our future self, how good can this get? And what is the greatest good for all? And it's so important for us to ask this question because it trains us to make decisions from the heart. And when we're making a decision from the heart, it's a hell yes or it's a hell no. That's how our heart works. Making decisions from the mind can be very convoluted. It can be confusing. We can put things off because we overthink it. When we make a decision from our heart, we immediately know which way to go. And I think that this full moon is encouraging all of us to drop into the heart. It is Leo season. Leo rules the heart. So we're all being encouraged to drop into the heart, connect with our future self at the time of this full moon so that we know which doors to close, so that we can get to that future life, to that future self. And with the February 20th, 2026 conjunction of Saturn and Neptune at the 0 degree mark of Aries. That truly is the new era. That truly is the new paradigm, the new earth, the new world, whatever you want to call it. And so this is such a cosmic portal. This is such an invitation at the time of this full moon to really feel into what our dream future is and where we want to go and what's the greatest good for all and how good can it get, and to ask our future self those questions so that we can know how to drop into the heart and say hell yes or hell no. And now I'm going to pull the tarot for this full moon in Aquarius. I got the sun card upright. This is the Leo card. This is the happiest card in the deck. It's the best card in the deck. It's so bright. Look at my it's just so bright. There's so much brightness coming from this. And so we are all given this opportunity at this full moon to come here. This is the heart chakra. Leo rules the heart. And we don't know how to make decisions from the heart because our schools don't teach us, our parents don't teach us, our religions don't teach. We don't know how to make decisions from the heart. And so the cosmos are urging us strongly to drop into it. Know what's the hell yes, what is the hell no. And we can do that by connecting with our future self. If we are just willing to get into the meditative state, set the intention. How good can this get? What is the greatest good for all? And connecting with our future self and seeing ourselves doing it, feeling ourselves doing it, getting advice from our future self doing it and feeling it and living it. Because the time is coming for all of us to understand that we deserve this. This is our birthright. We were born for this, to live this dream life, to live the way we want to live. And so an Aquarius moon, a full moon, is encouraging all of us. It doesn't matter how weird it sounds or looks, or if everybody thinks we're crazy. It doesn't matter, because an Aquarius moon person in their highest vibe, shining brightly, encourages all of us to bring our light to the world, however it may look, even if everyone thinks we're crazy, even if it's weird for everyone else. Aquarius is the alien of the zodiac and has felt that way its whole life and didn't really know how to navigate feelings and didn't really know how to navigate Earth. And you know what? This full moon is encouraging all of us to understand that we all feel that at some time of our life. And this full moon is encouraging all of us to fly our freak flag, make the decision from the heart, even if they say we're crazy, even if they think we're crazy, even if we think it's crazy. Because bottom line, this full moon is encouraging all of us to live our authentic truth and to remember our authentic self and to no longer be pleasing others because this is the way they want us to live. This is what they want us to do. And when we do live our authentic truth, we truly can live in joy. This is the most joyful card of the deck, and we got it. And the opportunity is there for us at the time of this very powerful full moon at 16 degrees, which is all about the future. So are you willing to make that heart-based hell yes or hell no decision at the time of this full moon, and to ask advice to your future self about how good it can get and what is the greatest good for all? Because if you are willing to do all this stuff that the cosmos are urging us to do, yes, you can live it. And yes, you are worthy of it. And yes, it is here available for you to hop on to that timeline. I hope this video has served you. Please do leave your comments. I'm wishing all of you a blessed and magnificent full moon on August the 9th. Take care.